You're not training for vanity. If that's the reason you've been avoiding the gym, then man, I need to tell you this. That is not humility. That is an excuse. There's a version of stewardship that sounds really spiritual, but it's actually the opposite. It seems like, oh, I don't care about those shallow things. I don't care about how I look. I care about things that are more important. And listen, I get it because I've been in your very shoes. I spent years in ministry focused on just the spiritual side, as if the way we exemplify our bodies is then the way that we stewardship our bodies doesn't have a spiritual side to it. And I even remember telling one of my friends, I was getting ready for my wedding. We were a couple months out, and I didn't love the way he asked the question because it wasn't the first time he asked the question, and so it seemed a little more antagonistic than I wanted it to be. But he had asked again, when are you going to start locking in to look good for the wedding? And I remember telling him that's just not something that I care about. I'm not focused on that. And my focus was on other things. But later down the line, I realized that my focus didn't have to be split. It didn't have to be one or the other. I could have a good physique and focus on these other things and bring God glory all the more. So let's talk about this, because I think men are using it's not about the looks too much, and it's more of a cover because they don't want to address the real issue. How you treat your body, how you steward the body that God has given you is a direct link to how seriously you take the life that He's given you. And I truly believe this, and that's not this fitness influencer telling you this. That is stewardship theology. We need to be good stewards of our body, and when we're not, it doesn't matter what reason we're getting for, it is just an excuse. I'm not saying that your worth is tied into your physique. How you look does not determine your worth in any way whatsoever. But what I am saying is that neglect is a choice. Every time you decide, you know what, I'll start tomorrow. Every Monday that you say, oh, I'll restart on Monday. Every gym session that you decide, you know what, I'll just go tomorrow. It's okay, I won't go today. That is a decision every single time, and it builds up and it has an effect. And here's the cost that nobody wants to say out loud. You cannot lead at your highest level in a body that you're not taking care of. You can't be as present for your wife. You're not available for your kids because you're tired, and you don't have the same energy that you need to walk into your work and do your calling and complete your mission because you're trying to run this high-performing vehicle, but as you're not taking care of it, it's running out of gas, it needs an oil change, and the bumpers are falling off. Stewardship here isn't about having the best-looking car. It's not having a shiny instrument. What it is you deciding to make the most out of the body that God has given you so that you can do the things that God has called you to do in your day-to-day life. And so the question isn't, is it okay to take care of my body? The question is, am I being a good steward of the body that I've been given? And that shift matters because when you're doing it for vanity, it is so easy to give up when you're not seeing the results. But when you're doing it for something more, when you're doing it out of obedience, when you're doing it to be the best version of yourself for your family, for your kids, for your friends, for your work, so that your capacity is growing, when you do it for those reasons, then even when the progress is slow, you keep doing it because you're feeding off of the energy of bettering yourself. This discipline in the gym isn't self-indulgence. It's not vanity. It's putting time into yourself so that you can perform at the highest level possible. It's not about being perfect, it's about being excellent. And that is such a difference. And so I actually just want you to do one thing today. One thing to make this switch. Audit your week and find where is your body lacking the attention it needs. Is it in sleep? Is it in your nutrition? Is it in your training? What is it? And I want you to focus on that this week. And that discipline, the focus that you put into that specific thing that you choose for this week, it's going to multiply discipline, and you're going to see it in your marriage, you're going to see it in your parenting, you're going to see it in your friendships, you're going to see it in your work, and it's going to multiply that discipline, and you're going to be better. You're going to have more capacity, you're going to have more drive, you're going to have more confidence. And when you do that, you won't be able to recognize yourself in the mirror. The worst thing you could do is to wait for your mission to slow down. Whatever your calling is, whatever you do professionally, the worst thing you could do is to wait for that to slow down to make the change, because it doesn't slow down. There's not a perfect time. You have to start today. Change starts the moment you decide to start doing it. Our bodies aren't permanent, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean that it's vain to try and focus on them and make sure they're healthy and make sure they're strong, because while you're using them, you want it to be as strong as possible. So go ahead, find that thing in your week, make the change, start today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.